Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another match preview. It's been a while since we're doing a normal preview, but of course we had to. It's the biggest game in English football. It's Manchester United against Liverpool, the two biggest clubs. So obviously we had to get the rival fans on board for this. First and foremost, let me introduce to you my fellow Man United fan. Yes, that is Kojo under the balaclava, you know. Kojo, what are you saying, G? How are you? I don't know if he's on just that.
I'm great.
Okay,
I'm great. Obviously, I'm ready to...
it's good. Kojo, what are you saying? I think
just ready to smoke these Liverpool guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you love to say it.
I'll come back.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. It's so good. It's so good. And in the Liverpool corner, we got two fantastic guests. It's just me, Rayhan, at the moment. We got two fantastic guests. I'll introduce the one that's staying at the moment. We got Rayhan in the building. How you doing, brother?
All good, bro. Yeah, all good, man. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Obviously, just you know, we're in good spirits after last night, and obviously we've also got Sanj in the building from BBC. Obviously, I'm liking the bookshelf and that. I'm sure you got Sir Alex's book in there somewhere. But Sanj, how you doing?
I've got some of his books. Don't you worry. You've got to know the enemy. You've got to know the enemy.
Yeah. Keep your enemies close. I like it. Kojo will be back. So at the moment, I'm outnumbered, so obviously be nice to me. But listen, we're going to get straight into it because we're a bit bereft for time. We haven't got much time. So listen, first and foremost, I just want to get your guys' general consensus. You know, you're currently signed 6. As you guys will know better than me, you know, the Newcastle game, conceding the last kick of the game practically. You know, how are your thoughts in terms of the top 4 race, Rayhan? First and foremost, we'll come to you. Do you feel like this is a must-win game for Liverpool going into this one, based on that result against Newcastle?
Yeah, I think if we want any chance of top 4, personally, I think even if we win, I don't think we'll get it because this Liverpool team, you know, we're the sort that could win on Sunday and then drop points against Southampton next week, and suddenly we were out of the top 4 race again. But then if we want any chance of top 4, it's a must win. Not even a draw is good enough because you look at Chelsea, they've got Fulham on tomorrow. They'll win that and they'll go even more clear if we drop points. So then it becomes so hard, such a mountain to climb then. So if we want any chance, we have to win on Sunday. It's a must win, 100%.
Yeah, no, I hear. And Sandra, have you got the Europa League theme tune down to a T? Yeah, well, but how are you feeling going to the game on Sunday? You know, as Rayhan said, it's a must-win for you. I personally think.
Do you know, I've always thought that Thursday's a bit of a strange day, so you can tell me more about it. How does Thursday work for you?
Honest to God, I love it. It's horrible. Honestly, it's horrible.
Do you know what? Right, here's the thing, right? And I've been very clear about this for most of my adult life. And when I say adult, I'm 50 now, man. So you know, let's get things clear. I hate with a passion the race for top 4. It literally is the most appealing thing if you're a football fan, especially if you're a fan of a big team. Because all it is basically you get in the Champions League, and that basically says to your owners, we don't really have to invest this year because the Champions League money will do it all for us. So I hate it. So if we don't make it top 4, I'm fine with that. Because as far as I'm concerned, winning is the only thing that really matters. You need to be in finals, and we're not going to be in any finals, and therefore we're not competing for anything. So I don't really care. The only thing I care about is beating your lot. That's all I care about. That's that. And it's so sad that it's come back to this. We went through years of this. I think the biggest games of the season were home and away against your boys. And now it's this. And even then, it's just going to be so weird, isn't it, on Sunday? Because you won't be able to hear any chants, will you? Like everyone going, oh, you know, the stupid old songs about Steven Gerrard, or you know, or the songs we all sang about Paul Scholes or David Beckham. You can't hear anything, or we can't even take the mick out of Ryan Giggs, which I'm sure we would love to do this weekend. So there's nothing we can sing. So do you know what? I from the point of the top 4 race, I don't really care. I think it'll be an interesting game because, as someone pointed out, both teams have to win.
Do you think? I don't think we need to win at all.
I don't think Man United have to win.
No, but you have to go for the win.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
What good is a point for you?
I honest to God, I'd actually take the draw, you know. I'm not going to lie, because it deters you guys from getting...
But as a manager, you can't think... As a football manager, you cannot think... That's the only... that's the only thing about this game is I just don't think anyone can just leave it out. You've got to leave everything out there and just say, look, we're going to go for it. And that will make for a better game. I personally think that doesn't matter who we line up in defence. If, say, for instance, Nat Phillips is fit and therefore it's Phillips and Kabak, you've got enough pace in your attack, haven't you, to exploit that. If it's Fabinho and Kabak at the back, then it's all right, but it's not going to be great. So we've got to go. We've got to go for you. I'd be intrigued to see who we play in the midfield because I think the front three will always be the same front three. But the midfield, if it's Fabinho playing in the anchor role, then who's going to be next to him? Is it Thiago? Is it Ronaldo? Could it be Curtis Jones? Someone like Shaqiri? You don't know.
Why not just go for Fabinho?
Big up Harris, man.
Thiago, like, I don't understand. Like,
sorry.
For sure, like this is just me. Like, I don't watch every 90 minutes of Liverpool. I'll be honest, but I for me personally, looking at it from the outside, it just makes common sense. But it just seems like common sense to play Fabinho and Thiago. Like they're your two best midfielders, surely. And if you line up with Fabinho and Thiago, I don't know who. Is it Genie that normally kind of occupies the other like sort of?
He fills in the space. He fills in all
I would Fabinho there. I would go Fabinho, Thiago, Firmino. With John up top, that's what I would do because I think you lot should go for it because our defense is shocking. Like, look at the way Romans just broke us down. They barely had a sniff of the ball and they scored 2 goals without offering any quality. Like one reverse pass from Mkhitaryan and they scored. So, like, if I was you guys, I can imagine Firmino playing that Mkhitaryan pass. I don't know if you guys watched any of the game, but that sort of reverse ball through.
I watched it, then I gave up when you got to
4-2.
When you got to exactly. I was just saying 4-2. I went to watch
I turned it to the Arsenal game.
Oh yeah, legit. Arsenal always giving us good memories, but that's what I would do.
All I'd say about Thiago and Rayan, I'll defer to you on this. Is that I love watching him. I think he's a great player, but he's a walking yellow card. I mean, I kind of think the referee should just go over to him before he blows the first whistle and just say, "Here's the yellow card." Let's just save time. It's kind of like Lee Catamol, if you remember. Obviously, a lot less quality.
I remember Lee Catamol.
Yeah, but Lee Catamol was a yellow card, wasn't he? Literally, as soon as he walks on the pitch, you think, when's he going to get it? There'd be sweepstakes on. So it's the same for Thiago. I love the fact that he's always trying to make an impact, but I think he hasn't quite got to the pace of it, and that's probably because he missed 2 months of the season, the really frenetic part. I think he's getting to where he needs to be. Certainly in the Newcastle game. In the Newcastle game last weekend, he was brilliant. But I think he was knackered.
He's a top quality player, man. I'm a huge fan of Thiago. I was absolutely fuming when you signed him. I still think when he went, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a massive fan of Thiago. I've been like him and Fabinho in midfield. Whatever that happens next season, like consistently, you're gonna be fine. I think. But
I think with Thiago, bro, I think obviously. He hasn't, lit the team up. He hasn't been amazing, like the level that we know he was at Bayern Munich. But obviously, you come into a more physical league, probably the hardest league to adapt to. You get injured, then you miss pretty much 3 or 4 months of the season. You then come in, and then you come into it because then we have our injuries at the time. You come into a team where you're playing midfielders in centre back, so then the normal midfielders aren't in midfield with him. It's all been chaos really, and I do hope, and I'm sure that he will come good next season, hopefully. And I think with him, I do have a few doubts whether he may suit the system in a way, because obviously ours is a more high intensity system, and Thiago kind of isn't that sort of player. I do think Thiago, if he was at Man City under Pep's system,
if he was in that
would
Man
be
City,
a different beast, bro.
Wasn't he? But he would
exactly.
Be sensational. But listen, I've got to ask you regarding the front three before I bring Koji and Ray. I'm going to stay with you. You know what I'm going to answer you anyways. But for Sanj, just drop it. I just want to hear your thoughts. So this is Rayan's take after the Newcastle game. So do you want to just give your thoughts so Sanj is aware?
What, Salah and Mane out?
He says
my first tweet at the weekend. So I was watching the game at work, right? And my first thought at the final whistle, after watching, I don't know how many chances they missed. 22 shots. 22 shots or attempts they had last weekend. And at my first thought, and you should never tweet with emotion, but I did, was time to break up the front three. Time to break up the front three. That was the thing that I thought. I don't know how. I don't know who's the first one that has to start.
That really blows my mind. Like, just again, as a rival fan, so to speak, like that's what I want. I want you like to say, like Firmino. For me, I've got to be honest. I think he's a bit overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I know he does a lot for you, but as a striker, he's overrated. He needs to be playing a camp for me personally. That's just me. But in terms of Salah and Mane, if you saw one of them, that'd be a huge mistake. I really believe that. Like, I know there's other players out there that could potentially come and you take that mantle and go to that.
I didn't say sell. I said time to break it up. So when I say time to break up, you've got to find someone who's a more serious alternative. I still think that Jota is basically your first sub. That's who he is at the moment. And you've seen the limitations of his game in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because after that purple patch, when he went on international duty and basically seemed to score in his sleep, when he's come back, he's been missing chances. And when I say missing, it's not just that they've been saved; they've been going well over the bar.
Over the bar, yeah.
So I think you've seen where his true level is. So I think there's time for them to look at who they can get that can be a serious alternative to the front three. And when I say front three, really, I'm thinking Mane and Salah. Dan James
is available, so he's going to go. So I don't know if you're going to throw. You take either of them two. Dan James will do it. You guys, he loves a gegenpress.
I don't know, right? That you guys will tell me about international strikers, and I work in international sport, right? And I don't know who's making a serious case to take seriously. I think we've been linked with a guy at, I think he's at Ajax.
I forgot his name. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
there's someone.
And also the guy at Fiorentina. Is it Vlahovic? Who's 6'3" and scored loads of goals. But I don't know. I haven't seen nearly enough of these guys to think. Yeah. The guy I would go out of my way to sign. Right, I would take out another mortgage to get him because I think he would make this team more than at the moment Bobby's. Bobby's. I love Bobby, right, and I'll be heartbroken when Bobby's sold, but. I'm not with you on the sense that Usmaan, I think maybe his best time is behind him because he plays in a role where I think so much pressure on him in terms of the physical attributes that you need to play that role. The guy I like to replace him is just Harry Kane. That's the guy I'd get.
No, don't. Just Kojo.
If you could guarantee me Harry Kane's fitness over a season, then yeah, 100%. But
imagine Harry Kane and that team feeding Salah and Mane instead of Son. Oh my!
All day long.
But the thing is with me, Usmaan, is the reason why people get shocked about my Salah thing is I've been Salah out for well over a year,
Why?
Probably a year and a half.
Why?
And Kojo knows this as well.
I know.
But I always ask why, because I'm not really sure.
Why?
Because he frustrates the life out of me when he plays. Frustrates the life out of me.
Yeah, but he literally secured you the title for the first time in your life and the Champions League with his goals. Like, you can say, like, there's a lot of players out there, and I'm sure Kojo would probably be able to agree with this. Bruno Fernandes is another guy that will frustrate the shit out of you because he tries these random flicks, right? And you're like, bro, please just control the ball and pass it normally. But they deliver when it matters, and Salah has been that guy. And Sam knows how much I've criticized Salah, and the fact that I've defended him is unreal. But Salah's been that guy, man. Like clutch moments. I don't think you can criticize. I almost think he's untouchable.
I think with the problem that I've got with him is I think he causes a lot of our attacks to break down in games. Like, when the ball goes to him, he'll miscontrol it. It'll go out for a throw, and he'll just get tackled, give the ball away. Like, he just causes so many of our attacks to break down. And he's so and he's not exactly clinical either. Like we saw last week, he's never been clinical. It's not like he takes.
But Ryan, the way about Salah that I feel like people need to. I never say give these guys the benefit of the doubt. Innit? You want him to improve on these things, but he is literally what you want in a player and everything that you do. The way you attack suits him to a T. The way you score goals suits him to a T. Because, quite frankly, in my opinion, in your team, you don't have a more potent goal scorer than Mohamed Salah. You have players, the best of players have had times where they've had the most iffiest games. But what separates them from the rest is that Salah can have a 5 out of 10 performance and then smack one in.
It's exactly the same as
And
Bruno,
then when he
innit?
does
It's
that,
literally
he
same.
goes on number 2 and number 3. I remember you guys played, I think it was Chelsea, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And
Oh, he scored that banger
That
from
wonder,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
30
yeah,
yards.
the game that day wasn't. People were saying it was fantastic. For me, it was like an okay
celebration.
performance. He was doing all right, and then he took one touch, brought in, and bang. And that's what you want. There are players that, and I hate the term luxury player because he's not, for me, he's not a luxury player. Quite frankly, he's just electric, world class talent all day, every day. A player with that caliber of talent, you gotta understand that when they play such a role, they're going to make these mistakes or be tackled a lot because they're the focal point. When Salah's got the ball, you got 4 or 5 men around him every time because of how much danger he is. Same thing as Sadio Mane. Oh, Sam's gone, but same thing as Sadio Mane. But the difference in him and Mane is the way Mane runs with the ball in the Premier League is a lot more explosive, so he gets out of those gaps quicker.
Yeah.
Salah's not the cleanest dribbler, but he's a very good dribbler, and that's why I think people.
You think? I think his dribbling's awful, bro.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
I don't think his close control's that good. I've got
His close control's terrible.
The thing is, we're in the era right now where, since we saw, like, I'll say 3 names: Messi, Hazard, and Neymar. Since we got these 3 guys, the way they dribble, everyone's in a hype about dribble. You go to midfielders, Pogba can dribble. For Tottenham, Moussa Dembele was dribbling past 4 or 5 men with ease. So when you see that level of dribbling, I think everyone thinks that because he's such a good player technically, his level of dribbling should be the same as a winger. But his dribbling is still very good because he does the very simple dribbles and destroys his opponent.
Mbappe's dribbling is not particularly good either, to be honest.
But the way they beat their players is the most important.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't really touch the ball too tough. He takes 1 touch, 2 touch, and he goes past his guy, and he can either hit it or he can find the pass. And I think that's a lot more. There's just a lot more credit than is given because I don't like players that can beat 4 or 5 men and then have the end product of Usmaan Dembele. I don't like
that for a second. I was like, what?
Sorry, I'll use this arm of Usmaan Dembele. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like Salah, and that's hard for me to say because I'm not a Liverpool fan whatsoever. But the guy is absolutely.
You know what?
What about this? Would you take Sancho?
Oh yeah, 100%. I love.
You take Sancho over Salah?
Yeah, tomorrow I would.
Oh, okay.
Well, I suppose the age thing just come into it.
You know what it is about Salah as well? Another point I'll make is that, to me, this season in the league, our 2 best performances have been Leicester at home in November when we won 3-0 and when we beat Crystal Palace 7-0 away. And Salah didn't start in any of those games, you know. He missed the Leicester game because of COVID, and he came on as a sub against Palace when we were already 5-0 up. So, you know, sometimes you can be...
Who was playing instead then on that side?
Against Leicester, it was a front 3 of Mane, Firmino, Jota, and against Palace, I think it was actually Minamino. And I'm not saying Minamino's a better player than Salah, but I'm saying sometimes Salah,
so basically you're saying like
Salah out
more the team game kind of vibe.
Yeah, the whole team performance will improve as a whole. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like when Tottenham fans sometimes say, when we lose Kane, we play like a better team. But when Kane comes, Kane's contribution is undeniable.
It's like Ronaldo at Real Madrid. You know how Real Madrid fans are like, oh yeah, we'll be alright, Ronaldo, X, Y. We'll have all these team players, like, or Chelsea actually. Chelsea without Hazard's a perfect example actually. Chelsea without Hazard, I think you kind of, the way you're talking, you sound like how Chelsea be like, oh, without Hazard, you know, we're gonna finally become a team. And I suppose to an extent they've done that right now, but you know, prior to that, it's taken them a long time to get them, and it wasn't as easy, especially with your board as well. Bro, they ain't gonna reinvest the way you want them to reinvest. Similar to Man United, we sold Pogba. I don't have any faith in them to actually replace Pogba. Do you actually genuinely have any faith in your board to replace Salah the way you want him to be replaced?
Well, the recruitment over the last few years has actually been decent in terms of. I mean, we brought Mo Salah, you know, in terms of the kind of the same using the same model. So I think they can get it right in terms of the board and the transfer committee.
So someone's put this guy can't be a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, trust me. Whenever I say this opinion, I get that a lot. Like, is he really a Liverpool fan? Stuff like that. Trust me, I am. But
what about this one? Other people obviously don't want to be too on Liverpool, but someone else is saying, what are your thoughts on Mane and Firmino? Because obviously you've spoken about, you'd get Sancho. Who would you replace, either them, or do you think they need to go first, or which of the 3 needs to go first, if any, in your eyes?
Bro, I'll be honest. This season, I'm sick of all three of them. To be honest, they've pissed me off so much this season. I mean, Manny's probably been the worst one.
Mane's been
I'll be honest.
horrendous.
Manny's been awful, man. Awful.
Yes.
I mean, last week, this guy was just him and Salah were missing bare chances against Newcastle last week. It was embarrassing. Like we should have won that game about 4-5. But then Mane was missing basic open goals and shit like that. Like, oh my God, he's been awful. But Firmino's a weird one, because I used to really be a big fan of him in terms of I've always known that he's not going to be a goal scorer because he's an attacking midfielder. He ain't a striker, really. We all know that. And so I've never gotten onto him for his goal scoring, but his overall team play and like the facilitating the wide plays was top notch, But then I would say since last February, so about a year ago, bro, he's been terrible.
This is what I was saying. This is what I was saying to my mate. The guy just fell off a cliff in terms of his form,
exactly that.
But
he's not been scoring.
So it didn't matter. So
yeah, like he's not been scoring goals because he's not that player anyway. But the stuff that he used to be good at, he's not been doing for a very long time, and it doesn't look like he's getting any better either. So yeah, that's why I'm really worried about him as well. To be fair.
Sorry, guys. I missed who you were talking about. I take it Sadio Mane.
Firmino, both of them, Mane.
Go on, have your sound, man, and then we'll speak about our beautiful win last night quickly. So I'm sure you guys want to hear all about it. Saj, go on, what are your thoughts in terms of the front three? What's the biggest issue at the moment? If you were to replace any of them this weekend, or would you go for the same front three? What are your thoughts?
I'd go with the front four again, the way they did last weekend. On the basis they couldn't possibly all be that bad in front of goal 2 weeks on the trot because they're all quality players. And I think, modern culture dictates that when you get a run of results that you're not happy with, you blame the manager. You say, oh, he did this wrong, he did that wrong. Look, the manager did everything he could last weekend to get everything right. Was it Pep Guardiola's got this phrase, which is, I can literally take you up to the goal, but I can't put the ball in the net for you. That bit's got to come from you. And that's got to come from them. They've got to realise what it was that made them so good for so long. Because you've got to think, 3 to 4 years, they were literally as good as anything in not just European football.
Apparently they're better than the Invincibles the last season. So, do you know what I mean? Like that front three. So I've heard.
What was that?
As apparently that front three was better than the Invincible front three last season, but
God, I tell you what, you're just obsessed, aren't you? with how things just go back and watch.
I'm loving the fall from grace. I'm absolutely.
I tell you what, Usmaan, just go and watch your 1999 videos.
Oh, don't worry, I watch everybody when I wake up.
And it'll only be on VHS as well, won't it? Because it has.
Yes. Oh God! Everybody, don't they?
They've just got to realise what it is that made them so good for so long. That's all. That's my only opinion. When I said break up the front three, I kind of meant it because they're all now in their mid to late 20s, aren't they? So you've got to
touch 30 on the all three of them.
Bobby's the oldest.
29s, I think.
Bobby will be 30 this year. Most still 28. But they'll all be 29 by the end of the year. That's what I know. One of them needs to be just started to just nudge them towards the door. Do you want to just say, just to let you know, by the way, you need to start scoring 15 to 20 goals every season. I'm with you about Salah. Salah's untouchable as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
And he always will be. The thing is, I think I said this to Kojo on one of his shows a while ago. I said, the thing about both Salah and Mane, particularly Salah, is that they have moments when they can look like pub players. And you know that Salah doesn't go to the pub, but he just has that first touch. Sometimes you're thinking, are you really a footballer? Are you messing?
He does the simple things badly a lot of the time.
But do you know what? I love them. I love them so much. I know you don't, Usmaan, and Kojo probably doesn't love them as much as I do. But
I don't love them. But I got respect for them both, innit? You got respect.
So you've got to respect them in the same way. Look, I've got respect for your front three. Perhaps not as much as your lover Anthony Martial, but quite a lot.
I think Martial's your best one.
What did we say, Ryan?
I think Martial's your best one when he's on form.
Yeah, that's it, Ryan. I like you, Ryan. Another hot take.
No
there.
comment. I refuse to comment.
That's a hot take in this current climate because Martial's been shocking this season. I'm basically Martial FC. But listen,
He's just had a bad season. It happens.
Yeah, no,
he's a baller.
Yes, that's it, Ryan. That's it. You love that. I love that energy.
Salah's had a good season, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years in a row, but you're not rating him.
Oh, that's trash. Yeah, what are you about, Ryan?
That padder.
In 5 years, though, he's only scored about as many goals as Bobby Firmino, hasn't he?
No, I think so.
Over the same over at Martial. Martial.
He's scored. Is that no? Actually, if you want to base on stats, him and Son have actually got the same return in 5 years in the Premier League.
Yeah, him and Son, I think
they're exactly the same. So it is what it is. So stats don't mean everything. But listen, Colin, let's talk about our front three. We've spoken a lot about Liverpool's.
Listen, I've got to go again because I've got to go do my program. But nice to see you all. Nice to meet you as well, Ryan. Thank you.
Sancho, have a good one.
Take care, man.
Right, okay, anyways, let's talk about our left winger, the man himself, Paul Labile Pogba. Listen, Kojo, just talk to me about our front three, because Cavani, Pogba, and I know Rashford's been, up and down, he's injured, to be fair to him, but Bruno Fernandes last night, them three last night were absolutely devastating, weren't they?
They were fantastic. Yesterday was the most, what's the word I'm looking at? The cohesion was absolutely perfect. That's what I'm going to say. The cohesion was perfect between the front three. I think it's because you actually had a proper understanding of what the roles were. Like I said yesterday, Cavani was a player that stayed in the middle. And if he wasn't down the middle, it's because he drifted a little bit for Bruno Fernandes to make a run in behind him. And Pogba was, if Pogba was wasn't on the left side, was in the middle, because Bruno Fernandes went there. Or maybe he was on the right side, Rashford, him swap places, and it worked every time. There was not a moment in time where you actually doubted what their roles were and what they were doing. They looked like they had the good cohesion around them. And I think when you've got a good cohesion and you've got players that then enjoy playing with each other and know their roles, that freedom that comes with that, knowing that if I do this, I have someone to compensate for me or someone to find me, you will create more chances and you'll score more goals. Case in point, yesterday, 6 goals. Cavani was making runs in behind all day long, and if it wasn't him, it was Bruno. If it wasn't him, it was Rashford for a bit. If it wasn't him, it was Greenwood come off the bench, made a run in behind, got his goal. And that's what it's about. So, honestly, at this point, I know because we've got Liverpool, I know Rashford will probably start. I would rest Rashford for the next game, to be honest. And just give
Where's he going to get rested in the Europa League, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Sure. What? Why would Rashford play?
Exactly. I'm with you, but I don't think he will.
He's not playing
the cohesion's perfect right now. So I think I was a bit iffy about putting Pogba on the left side of midfield because you know how I feel about the centre midfield pairing. But if they do their dirty work and give the ball to two absolutely fantastic creative forces in the midfield after in front of them, then Pogba can stay as forward as he wants, and as can Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, just to quickly answer this, Rich, it does look like Cavani is signing a new contract. I don't know if you've seen the news. That's been coming out this morning. It seems like we're gonna extend his contract 1 more year, which is obviously brilliant news for us. Also, imagine a quality CDM in that squad. Riyad, I'm just gonna come to you. Obviously, right from a rival perspective. I'm not expecting you to watch a lot. I know you watched the game up until 4-2. What did you make of the United boys? It seems like, as Kojo said, there is definitely cohesion, in particular with Bruno, Cavani, and Pogba. They all seem to be on the same wavelength because, of course, they're elite players on the really.
Well, I've always said that Pogba's the best midfielder in the world. Like, I've always said it, and yesterday he was on a different level. He's been great for a few weeks actually. When I've watched you guys, to be fair, he's been really good. So I think yesterday, I missed the first goal because I started watching the Arsenal game, but then when it went to 1-1 in your game, I turned it over and then obviously you went 2-1 down. But I actually thought in the first half you actually played pretty well.
Yeah,
I think you just, your final product and was a bit dodgy, and obviously you conceded a couple of goals, even though I didn't think that first one was a penalty.
Riyad, are you sure you're not Man United fan? Are you sure?
Nah, I just have to be honest, innit? Yeah, that's what people say, innit? Like, cheers, man. But, like, I think, man, second half, you really did turn it on, to be fair. Like, great goal from Cavani. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought Roma were terrible as well. Like, they were abysmal. I'll be honest. Nah. Nah, but like Roma are absolutely terrible. Like, you know, they just played into your hands at times as well. Their passing was dreadful. I mean, I don't think it helped them having to make, was it 3 subs in the first half?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was
more
might be
injuries.
two
Yeah.
first
And they
or
had to
what.
sub their keeper, who was
That
terrible.
keeper was shocking.
It's
Got subbed
shocking,
off.
wasn't
You
it?
know when Cavani scored the tap and you hear him go, no!
No, I didn't hear that actually.
The BT did like a behind the scenes. It's so funny, man. It's proper like, yeah, it's just crack up. Like, man's just like, bro, what was that goalkeeper, man? He just parried it straight to it. What's he doing?
Straight in.
And then that Greenwood one, how's he let that in? I was like, oh, how's that gone in? Like, but you know, I do agree. Roma were absolutely shocking. They're a poor team. I don't think we can, you know, sit here and massively like, you know, pat ourselves on the back, so to speak, in terms of the performance, because we just did what we've got to do against a very much lesser team. But in terms of moving forward into this game, Kojo, where do you see it from a Man United perspective? Do you think we need to go for the win? You know, top 4 almost does seem like it's sewn up with 9 points above Chelsea, which is not really relevant. We're 12 points above West Ham, actually, with 5 to go. Do you think top 4 is guaranteed mathematically? We need one more win.
I think looking at the fixtures, I think some of these teams start to play each other, so I think it's a guarantee now. But regardless of whether it's guaranteed or not, we need to win this game. And it's not about getting closer to City or consolidating top 4. It's because it's Liverpool. I don't care the conditions. I don't care if it was the Audi Cup like Tottenham. If it's Liverpool, you beat them. That's what it is at the end of the day. And we're in good form. So there's no reason to, you know, sort of slow down the momentum. If you win this game, you can go into the next game a lot more relaxed, calm and assured within yourselves, win that game, and then go on to the next Premier League game and continue the form. This is what we need to start building now. That mentality needs to come back. Whether you're in the title race or not, you need to be able to think that the first thing I want to do is win. And this is a big game. This is a huge game in United's history in general. It's Liverpool. So we have to beat Liverpool. We have to win. And honestly, the only change I would make is Rashford off, Greenwood in, and I'll keep the team the same. I think what we had going on in that team yesterday was very, very good. Obviously, McTominay was a bit suspect. And I would obviously, in reality, would change him for Van der Beek, but I think him and Fred, at the end of the day, are the first choice for Ole when it comes to now that Pogba's on the left side. So yeah, I would only change Rashford because he needs a rest, for fuck's sake. He needs a rest big time. That's the thing I'll change. But I think these guys, if this 11 are so focused on winning this game, like they're down for it. Oh, hold on, De Gea started this game, didn't he?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, I forgot about that. So,
bro, I wasn't happy with his performance at all.
Why not though? I thought it was.
Have you seen how shit his kicking was? Man kicked one straight into Dzeko, kept passing it away. Like every kick he passed it away.
Yeah, his kicking wasn't good.
And then he kicked it straight into Dzeko's back, and it's just so casually, like.
But you know
it's just not good enough.
It wasn't good, but it comes with match sharpness. Because he's not playing the minutes. He wasn't anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not used to that, and he has to get used to it because right now he's not the number one. So Henderson will come back in anyway, and that's calm by me. So Henderson and Greenwood in. But other than that, go for the win. We have to kill them, bruv. This is Liverpool. Yeah, they're top 4 hopes. I don't want them in the Champions League. Get them in the guy here, man.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where I'm coming from. Like in terms of what you said, in terms of changes, I probably agree with you. Actually, I don't think I'd change anything else. Potentially Bailly, but he doesn't really realistically need to play because he can play in the Europa League game.
I don't want to see him.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't want
to.
Iceman FC, fam. Iceman FC, I'm starting the thing.
Oh, you started it? Okay. You've never been a fan of the defenders, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, listen, Rashford has to get rest. In terms of this game, look, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of not on the fence, but the only reason I care is because it's Liverpool. Otherwise, I wouldn't care about this fixture at all. But like you said, because it's Liverpool, the history, it gives us an opportunity to stop us from getting top 4. We have to take it because, you know, I know Ryan and Sanjay actually said he doesn't care to get Champions League. But for me personally, I think that Champions League is so integral for the summer transfer window. Liverpool are still a huge club. You've just won the league. So I don't think it'll affect you guys, to be honest, that much. However, players like Salah, they're not going to want to be in the Champions League. You know, he's getting close to 30 years old. He's at 29, going to be 29. He's not going to be wanting to play Europa League, man. Like, there's no way. Mane, whether he's been good or not, you know, he might stay. I think you might have a bit of an issue keeping Salah. Not that you care personally, but yeah, for me, we have to play this game like, we wanted to win. We got to keep momentum going, and then obviously rest on the Thursday. But Rian, in terms of Liverpool going to this game, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you can get a win? You're going away to Old Trafford. There's going to be huge protests as well outside the stadium.
Yeah.
So it should be unreal atmosphere.
I don't. You know what? It's a tough one because we never win at Old Trafford, even when we're a much better team than you like in the last
You drew
3
with
years.
us last year in the nil, wasn't it? Was it?
It was 1-1 last year.
Was
Lallana
that the
scored.
Rashford? That was the Rashford goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lallana scored late to get.
Yeah, from the corner, bloody that goal. Oh my days.
Yeah, but like it's at that time we played, we were top of the league, and I think you guys were maybe bottom half at the time we played you.
Yeah,
so even when we were a much better team than you, we could struggle to win at Old Trafford. So that's why I'm not confident. But then on the other hand, because you've played last night and you played your full team, there could be maybe a bit of tiredness there, and we've had a full week, to rest kind of. So but then I also think that the mindset will be different for Liverpool going to Old Trafford in terms of in the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years, when obviously we've had Klopp, and we've gone to Old Trafford. I always feel like Klopp has been like playing for a draw at Old Trafford in terms of he never really goes for the win. He's always like, I'll just take a draw here. Whereas we have to win this game. A draw's not good enough.
You have. I really hope it isn't. It's not an 0-0 as in the reverse fixture at Anfield. The cup game was obviously brilliant for our perspective, but as in, I want to see a game, man. I don't want to see a 0-0. I'm hoping Liverpool come and try to win the game, because that'll just play into our hands, to be honest. Because
that's true.
Because it'll give us the space on the break, which is probably what we're going to go for. But Rian, just quickly, I want you to go through your lineup that you would go for. Forget what Klopp's going to do, because obviously we're giving out, and then we'll get the score predictions in. So, what do you reckon is a team that will beat Man United at OT?
So I'd go 4-3-3. I'd go Alisson, Trent right back. If Phillips is fit, I'd go Phillips, Kabak, and Robertson, because I want Fabinho in defensive mid. I don't want him at centre back. We're so much better with him in midfield. I'd go Fabinho, Thiago, and I don't even know, because I don't rate Wijnaldum. So but then it probably should be him, to be fair, or him or Milner. But then Milner's too slow now. But yeah, exactly. Milner's too slow, so I'd probably say Wijnaldum.
Nobody else? What's happened to Chamberlain? Is he still alive or what? What's going on?
Oh, he's crap, bro. I don't rate Chamberlain.
What about the actual flop that no one's speaking about, Naby Keita?
He can't be. I don't. He's not injured, but he won't play. He won't play.
Why is he not playing? What's going on with Keita? He's at 65 million or something stupid like that.
I just don't. Well, Klopp played him. Obviously, he's had loads of injuries, but Klopp played him against Real Madrid away when he shouldn't have, and he had an absolute shocker and got subbed after.
He got subbed off in 41 minutes.
Yeah, after 40 minutes he got subbed, so I can't see him playing anytime soon, starting. So I think it'll be Wijnaldum, and up front, bloody hell, I'd go Salah, Firmino. I'd go Jota. I'd go Jota.
Mane dropped. The thing is, like I said to you, I personally would put Firmino in camp, put Jota up front, Mane left, and Salah on the right.
Thing is, I'm not a fan of when we play 4-2. When we start with 4-2-3-1, I always feel when we start with that formation, we never play well. Do you get what I mean from the start? In terms of, I like 4-2-3-1 when it's a plan B, where if you need to go after 60 minutes, he'll change it to that.
Yeah. I get that. I suppose when Jota just come on it, in that formation, that's when you go into that formation, don't you? But I just think he needs to change something. For me personally, you guys was, you're criticizing the front men because they're missing a lot of chances, rightfully so. But I think Klopp needs to take a bit of blame as well, because he's not shuffling the pack for me. He's just doing the same thing, hoping for a different outcome. I just think he needs to be a bit more. He just needs to mix it up a bit. Like you said, he played Keita against Real Madrid. Obviously, as you said, he shouldn't have done that. But he's got to do something different. You can't just keep doing the same thing, because it's not working at the moment for whatever reason. But Kojo, listen, let's get your thoughts just on how you think the game's going to pan out. And then, to be fair, this is my favorite bit because I told you so. But how do you think this game's going to pan out? What's the score prediction?
I think Liverpool try to control possession, And I think what's going to happen is we're going to get. I think we're going to win the game in the first half in the sense that we're going to probably get 1 or 2 goals in the first half and be able to shop in the second half and get it off with a third. I think we will concede, but I think we'll concede after we've scored our goals that win the game. So that being said, with my prediction, I'm predicting a 3-1 win.
Wow. That's almost shocking.
And
I'm not gonna
lie to you, I feel like Pogba, Bruno, and Cavani are gonna have a hell of a time against Kabak and Phillips. And more than anything, Pogba down the left with Trent. That's not.
He should bully him realistically.
It worries me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying 3-1.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I think their defense quite clearly is with Phillips at the back is definitely advantage Man United. Rayan, what do you reckon? How do you think the game's going to pan out? What's the score prediction?
It's tough. I can't see us winning just because I'm never confident when we go to Old Trafford, and then, like you said, the defense against your attackers don't fill me with confidence. I'll go for a draw. I'll go 1-1.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go 1-1.
Right, okay. Bloody hell, someone's put 4-1 United.
Yeah, I just saw that. Bloody hell.
What is going on? I don't know where the confidence is coming from, honestly. I personally think it's going to be similar to the Cup game, actually. The 3-2. I think it's going to be very similar. Like, it's going to be end-to-end. Both teams are going to have chances. Like, Liverpool could have won that Cup game if they were a bit more clinical on the day. However, I think it's going to be 2-2. I just think it's just going to be Liverpool, our defense isn't that good. I really don't think it's that good. And I know their defense isn't great, but Liverpool actually attacked brilliantly against Newcastle. They just didn't take the chances. And players like Firmino causes problems. That false nine, I don't know if you noticed, Kojo, but we struggle against a false nine badly because our players, I don't know what it is with the midfield or obviously McFred and the defense. They don't know who's picking it up. They don't know who's picking that player up. Now do
you say that? Sometimes, not even sometimes, we've got a weakness where either people cross the ball from Luke Shaw's side and they know it's going to be Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's not aware of anything. They know how they can whip a ball so high.
That could also be a problem.
Yeah, because he can whip a ball high over Lindelof knowing that he won't get it because obviously it's above his reach if he jumps. And you want your right back. His positioning, Wan-Bissaka's positioning is scary. Yeah, it's scary bad. So it could actually, genuinely, it could be either Pogba or, depending who starts on the left, Jota or Mane, who wins the game for either club. Because both right backs, positioning-wise, are poor. We can talk about Wan-Bissaka being good on one-on-ones, but you're not always going to be in a one-on-one situation in a football game. Yeah. So it could actually be which right back feels the worst. And so now that you say that, I'm quite scared it could actually be our guy instead. So I don't know.
Nah, but I've got faith to Wan-Bissaka. It is one of these big games. James is saying 2-0 United. Yeah, I'm going to stick to a 2-2. Obviously, if you watch this on repeat, put your comments in, your score predictions, all that good stuff. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. That has been your match preview with fellow Liverpool fans, Rayan and Stan. Before we go, as always, Kojo, shout out your socials. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, Free Midfield on Spotify, Twitter, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. And, of course, you can find me, myself, Kojo, here on Usmaan Talks United. And Free Midfield, we're back on Monday, as will be the Rival Fans Podcast. Come on.
Yes, you love to see it. Rayan, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, you can find me mostly in Sarkism City on the Q&As like we do on Wednesdays and Sundays normally. We did one last night because we couldn't do it on Wednesday. And you can find me on watch-alongs and stuff. Like I'm doing a United Liverpool watch-along on the channel on Sunday, so that should be good. And you can find me on Thursday nights on Bits and Bobs' channel, the Liverpool show at 10 p.m. So, yeah, and you can find me at Twitter on Ryan_K1.
Yes, yeah. Make sure you show love to obviously the homies, obviously Bits and Bobs and Flawless, obviously, good friends of ours. So make sure you show love to those podcasts as well. And, mind me as well, I need to do watch along on Sunday. I don't think that's going to happen, actually. I honestly, God, there's not going to be a watch along on Sunday because I'm at the protest again. Manchester United glazes out that movement. We're running it back. So no watch along. I don't know what's happening in the match actually, to be honest, but there will be a vlog. So whatever happens in that vlog, it will be uploaded. Make sure you stay tuned for that on Sunday. Obviously, have a good weekend. If you don't see us, drop a like, subscribe. It's been your boy Usmaan, and we're out. Peace.